today is all set to announce a new national policy for skills development. There are many education companies like NIIT, Aptech, etc. that are rallying in trade today. Rahul Patwardhan, the CEO of NIIT, joins us now on the show to talk about that. Mr. Patwardhan, good morning and thank you for joining us. If you can just start off by telling us, what kind of orders have you received or are you executing from the government? And because of this new national skill development policy, how much of a benefit could it be for a company like yours?
Yeah, good morning. The first thing I'd like to do is to congratulate the government on the launch of the Skill India movement today and the World Youth Skill Day. NIIT has been in the skilling business for the last 35 years and we've trained about 35 million people in IT. In the last few years, we have expanded that to address a number of other sectors like retail and telecom and healthcare and media and entertainment and so on. We have perhaps experience to do large-scale training across the whole of India, and we would like to see this as our responsibility to contribute to the Skill India program to address the requirements for skilling and reskilling in the industry over the next 5 to 10 years. The demand for skilling in India is for about 100 million people to join into new jobs across the 32 industry sectors. And there's also a massive reskilling requirement where we have to raise the level of skills of existing workforce across all industry sectors to world standards. That's about 400 million people who need to be trained there. So it's an immense opportunity. We're already engaged with a number of government programs, both at state level and at central level. For example, the Ajivika program is run by the Central Ministry of Rural Development across multiple states. And recently, this month, we have participated in the pilot of the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. This is the new version of the STAR program that was launched last year. And we have successfully met the initial targets for training people in Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast and in Jharkhand.
Okay. Mr. Patwardhan, I wanted to know more about whether the Skill India guys have gotten in touch with you. You know, what we were given to understand is all the ITIs are being brought under the Skill Ministry. And that's where the concentration is. And then there are skill cards and skill loans being given. Is there anything in the digital space that the government is liaising with you at all, and for which you will be, conducting classes or whatever?
Absolutely. As you may be aware, NIIT is in a joint venture with the National Skills Development Corporation, which is a corporatized entity of the Government of India focused on this program of Skill India. Through that joint venture, we are engaged with sector skills councils who represent the major industry players in each one of the 32 sectors of the Indian economy. So we are very deeply engaged with the Skill India program. And I'd like to state today, on the eve of the Skill India launch, that NIIT is making a commitment to training 10 million people over the next 5 years across 16 industry sectors. This is a big commitment, but we have presence both in terms of our reach over 300 centers across India, but more important, the reach through our cloud campus and our synchronous learning technology platform. We believe that we can make a significant contribution to the skilling needs, but also the upskilling needs of the workforce that is already in the industry.
Because of this NSDC, do you get more students or do you open more classes? Exactly how does it impact you in terms of, say, revenues or margins?
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 models. The first model is that through programs like Ajivika, which are government, central government or state government funded, there are specific targets for training X number of people in different parts of the country on different subject domains. These are government funded programs. Our job is to acquire the students in those particular areas or districts, bring them into classrooms that we have organized and get them trained by faculty that we have organized. And most important, we have to take them all the way up to placement. NIIT has the highest placement rate amongst the partners for NSDC at 85% of all students that have entered the class are getting placed. And this is placements across all kinds of towns and cities in India. And the payments come through only when the results are delivered, which means only when students actually demonstrate that they've been placed for 3 months do we actually get paid. So it's a very tightly coupled program, very well designed program to guarantee quality of delivery of education.
Okay, so just to put some numbers to that, in FY15, I understand that you saw enrollments of almost 280,000 students. What could the enrollments look like in FY16? What kind of growth are you looking at?
As you know, we have our board meeting coming up day after tomorrow, so we are in the quiet period, so I'm unable to give a very specific reference to numbers for the next 1 year. But as I said, as on today, we are making a commitment to contribute to train 10 million people across 16 sectors in the next 5 years across every state and every district of India. So we got a massive opportunity in terms of business, but also I think a massive responsibility to make a significant contribution as the one private organization which has demonstrated ability to scale in terms of the number of people that we can train across India.
Okay, you can't give us a forward-looking statement, but at least you can tell us what the order intake currently is that you're sitting on. I mean, we have some figures as of the end of last year, which stood at around 343 crores. But as of June, what is your order intake?
Yeah, we cannot report order intake numbers at this point of time.
Okay.
We have our results being announced on Friday, so I would like to reserve my comments till that time.
No, I mean, if you can give us just a longer-term path for NIIT, if you are going to be participating in such a massive skilling of India, I mean, you're still in the red over the last 2 years, Mr. Patwardhan. Does that get into the green in the current year?
What we did communicate after our annual results in May was that we have 3 businesses. One business is our corporate business, which services the international, multinational customers, typically Fortune 1000 profile of companies. That business has been doing very well. It's been growing 15% per year on an average with a 12% EBITDA margin, and we indicated that we will continue to grow at those rates. The second business is the entire skilling business, which is focused on India and China. That's the business where we've had some degrowth over the last 2-3 years. We indicated very clearly that in this financial year starting April, but for the overall year, we will be back to growth and back to profitability. And I hope that with our results coming up, we'll be able to show directions in that way, in that direction. Okay. And the third business is our schools business, which is focused on the Indian market only. And there we've indicated that we will grow at about 10% top line and 10% EBITDA for the business that we are going forward, which is a private sector school business. But I hope they'll be able to give much more details once our results are announced on Friday.
All right, we look forward to that.